Okay. Are we good to go, or do you want to
ready.
wait a little bit longer?
Martin, should we start?
We're good?
Or?
Okay.
Let's go. Yep, I'm good.
All right. Let me
Okay.
get back here.
Round two.
Let's try it. Take two.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 696.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of February 16th, 2026.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. It's your light and it's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, an SAS Scandinavian flight starts taking off from a taxiway and rejects at high speed. And the main gear collapses on a Boeing 737-800 as it was taxiing for departure. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 696 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM and news. It's the news segment. No, on here we go. Okay, news and New York. They start with the same three letters. Anyway, let's move on. I'm Captain Jeff, your host, former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me, no, I'm not going to start over. We're going to keep going. From his Garden View studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
retired professional dog photographer, former RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff, for that very professional intro. As a nod to our special guest tonight, I'd like to mention the Garmin 696, which is a legacy 7-inch portable aviation navigator, often compared with or replaced by an iPad with ForeFlight due to the latter's superior dynamic capabilities. While the 696 features a large screen, I don't know, 7 inches doesn't seem that big. That's what she said. For charts, plates, and XM weather, it lacks the intuitive interface, frequent updates, and geo-referencing capabilities found in modern apps like ForeFlight. Many pilots consider upgrading from the 696 for better ADS-B integration, lower update costs, and an improved user experience.
Wow.
Music to Martin's ears, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a slot available in your advertising department there, Martin.
That's great. Thank you. Checks in the mail, man.
Well, speaking of ForeFlight, we have with us as a guest host today a longtime APG community member, cyclist, pilot of his wife's plane, and head of commercial flight deck at Jeppesen ForeFlight. It's Martin Kemp. Yay. Welcome.
Hi there, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for the welcome. Thanks for having me on the show.
Great to have you with us. Yeah, and we're gonna have a little discussion with Martin later in the show after we cover a few items in the news segment. And yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be fun. So
Great.
Thank you for joining us, sir. And also, last but not least, from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer, it's the one and only Liz Piper.
Here I am, and I'm not going to talk about the weather today. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Martin.
All right. Very good.
All right. Have a good show, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Thank
Liz.
you, Liz. All right. Now I'm going to press this button a second time.
Stand by for news.
All righty. This is from the Aviation Herald. It involves an incident on the 5th of February of this year. An SAS, Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A320-200 November, registration Sierra Echo Romeo Oscar Mike, performing flight 2590 from Brussels, Belgium to Copenhagen, Denmark, with 165 people on board, was taxiing along the outer taxiway, noted on the chart as out-10, and was cleared for takeoff from runway 7R, 7 right. However, they lined up on parallel taxiway Echo 1, short of the runway, started their takeoff roll on the taxiway along taxiways Echo 1, F2, Foxtrot 2, and V1 at 22:03 local time, so late at night, dark. The crew rejected takeoff at high speed, about 100 knots over the ground. Yikes. Just about where taxiway V1 gets narrower, and managed to stop the aircraft at the intersection of taxiways V1/Charlie 1, just before running beyond the end of the taxiway. The passengers disembarked onto the taxiway and were bussed to the terminal. The flight was canceled. The airport reported that the aircraft commenced takeoff on the parallel taxiway instead of the runway and rejected takeoff. Okay, that's what we just went through. No injuries. Passengers were rebooked onto other flights. An investigation has been opened. On the 13th of February, the Belgian Air Accident Investigation Unit, the AAIU, reported that after being cleared for takeoff from runway 7 right, the aircraft mistakenly lined up on taxiway Echo 1 at the intersection of taxiways Outer 10, Charlie 6, Charlie 5, and Echo 1/Zulu. Wow, it's a lot of intersecting taxiways. And maybe that might be part of the problem. And began a rolling takeoff. At the 100 knots indicated airspeed call-out, the crew became aware of the misalignment. Yeah, like the runway was disappearing rapidly, narrowing and disappearing. The aircraft reached 126 knots indicated.
Wow.
Before the brakes were applied.
Wow.
And the thrust reversers deployed. The aircraft came to stop on the paved surface adjacent to the taxiway edges near the intersection of Victor 1 and Charlie 1. There were no injuries. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No damage to the aircraft. Okay, yeah, and the Belgian AAIU said that this is rated an incident. Yeah, like a pretty serious incident, I would say. This could have been a huge tragedy. What do you guys think?
Jeff, this is very hard to fathom. I'm going to ask Martin to comment on.
For commercial pilots, we provide this, or we have this available airport moving map so that they can see a kind of a more detailed view of where they are. And I was looking at the intersection as you were mentioning, and firstly, I've never seen anything like it at an airport now, and that would be closed here, like my local airport. That we had a taxiway like that, and they closed it because of the risk. Let alone this opportunity to take off from the taxiway. That's the advantage these days of, as Nick was saying, GPS to be able to see where you are on the airport moving map, but then also to be able to see the detail, even to the point of highlighting the coloring. It really increases the level of situational awareness there.
Absolutely. I wonder where they had planned to get airborne from, because if they had planned to go all the way down that big wide apron
Right.
and use the threshold,
Yeah,
well,
that's
where were
my
the
question.
threshold markings? I mean, they cannot have missed the piano keys and the runway number and gone, I find it hard to believe they didn't go, hang on a minute, this is a funny looking runway, where's all the markings gone? But there you go. I get the impression, since they did a rolling takeoff and they didn't follow their full procedures of identifying where they were in a bit of a rush. And I know that there's often, particularly if you're a domestic carrier or doing relatively short haul, that there's often great time pressure But, this is one area where an extra 10 seconds is all it needs just to go through those physical checks to make certain you're in the right spot before you start the takeoff run. Yeah, it's another area which you really do in your pre-flight briefing on the flight day. What threats have we got today? Oh, we're doing an intersection departure. That's going to look different to our normal departures from the end of the runway. So let's make absolutely certain we know where we are before we start the takeoff. And if you're not doing a proper threat and threat mitigation briefing before your flight, then you're opening yourself up to this. I'm not suggesting they didn't, but perhaps they didn't think about bringing out that point, that area.
My question is, I'm just kind of curious why they didn't return to a gate and they deplaned while they were in that resting spot on that taxiway after they aborted the takeoff. Do you have any ideas about that? Maybe the brakes were hot or whatever, and they wanted didn't want to bring the airplane
they
back
weren't
to the
convinced
jetway?
that they'd stayed on the taxiway, perhaps. If they thought that they might have gone off the taxiway at some point, they might have been concerned about their gear damage, possibly.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious about that. But, okay. Very good.
Having said that, they did a good job keeping it on that narrow taxiway because it looks damn narrow.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it could have... This whole thing could have been really, really tragic.
God,
had
yes.
they not recognized...
Because we see so many, eventually, just by the law of averages, someone's going to be on the taxiway that they come barreling down, and there's going to be a horrendous smash.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think, as you said, and especially that they managed to stop short of the fuel tanks as well. That was a comment in the text as well.
Yeah,
So,
that could have been quite an
126 knots on a taxiway. That's pretty good going.
Yeah, that's a high J number right there.
Yes, very high.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it beats my record though, but
fair enough.
I'm not going to release my my stats on that. Just in case. All right. Anything else to be said about that one? I'm hoping that we'll hear more about it and kind of maybe get a better understanding of exactly how they missed, not being on the runway. Wow.
Well, it's all very
awesome.
useful. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Compared with the old days when you used to have to look out the window, it's brilliant.
Right. Yeah, it truly is. Yeah.
I think you still have to do that though.
You sure?
Every so often.
Yeah, you can't in the passenger cabin, Liz, because everybody's got the darn shades down. Well, here in the U.S. I know. It's like crazy. Don't get me started. Well, too late. All right, let's move to this next item again, also from the Aviation Herald. This is an accident, a Sun Express Boeing 737-800 registration, TCSOB, performing Flight 7646 from Antalya to Gaziantep in Turkey. Ding. Here, wait. There. Was taxiing for departure on taxiway Juliet towards runway 18 left when the left main gear collapsed, disabling the aircraft on the taxiway, resting on the left engine. It was resting. Emergency services responded. The passengers were able to disembark via stairs. There were no injuries. The aircraft sustained substantial damage. And there's something about some kind of a record being set for the J number in this. No, I don't know. Liz was asking, she was wondering about what his or her J number was on this. Okay, so here we go. It seems like 737s have especially recently in the past few years, a penchant for gear collapsing. Although I think they did make a point of it in this article that this was not a trunnion pin kind of deal, where most of the other ones that we've seen do involve the trunnion pin.
I almost wish it had been a trunnion pin because we found something else that's a weak link on the gear.
Yeah. I'm wondering why the sudden weakness in main landing gear systems on the 737. For so many years, you hardly ever heard of any kind of an issue with the landing gear, but Well, they are getting older, that's for sure. But these are the newer generation jets that are seemingly.
Did they? I wonder if they
having the problems.
redesigned the gear a little to reduce weight or
Possibly.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is a bit of
Anyway.
a worry, though. I mean, a lot of these seem to be happening at relatively low speed, rather than a heavy landing or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. What else to say? For now, we don't know. I guess they're going to do some.
What's all that stuff
investigation.
on top of the wing? Is that
I was
something
wondering
that's
about that.
poked through?
Oh, hang on. Let's see. Going back to the last item, or the first news item that we talked about, I-haul boxes in our live audience says none of the ground radars or ATC controllers called them to reject. I don't know. They didn't say.
Yes.
They didn't mention it.
No.
And they don't have live ATC there, so it would be difficult to know whether it was actually made.
Huh. All right. Well, good question, I-haul. All right. And as far as this gear collapse goes, I'm sure that they'll be doing metallurgical inspection. Speaking, really? Wow, what a great segue to our next news item. This is an update on the investigation regarding the Toronto Pearson plane crash, and they keep referring. February 17th, so just a little over a year ago, just a couple of days ago. It was the 1-year anniversary to this crash that they keep saying is a Delta Airlines incident, but it was actually Endeavor Air, the operator of this jet. But of course,
whose
it's plastered
markings
with
were on
Delta.
it?
I know. I should just give up.
If you would have put your logo on it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Nobody asked me, Nick, if it was okay to put the logo on there.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Anyway, the TSB, the Canadian Transportation Safety Board, says a thorough metallurgical examination of the aircraft wreckage has been completed now, and a detailed analysis is underway. You'll recall that this, as we mentioned, happened a little over a year ago, coming into land at Toronto Pearson. And they did say in the preliminary report that the aircraft descent rate was kind of high when it hit the runway. At 50 feet anyway, it was 1,114 feet per minute.
Yowza.
That should be, you should be kind of transitioning to your flare stage at that point and cutting the descent rate, considerably so that you don't collapse the gear and break a wing off and go flipping around upside down on the runway. I mean, that's just a technique that most of us use. Let's see. They said that at 50 feet, 1,114 feet per minute, and then 1 second later, the enhanced ground proximity warning system alert sync rate sounded. And then he just smashed it down onto the runway. And they said the head investigator said that there were several things that happened, including the failure of the landing gear, the side stay attached to the plane's right side, and the wing root collapsed. The cockpit door jammed shut as well. That's no good. An explosion erupted by the left wing. Yeah, explosions, not good. And the emergency locator transmitter also didn't emit a sound. They're supposed to. Wow. Anyway, so this is not a final report yet. They're still working on it. I guess hopefully getting closer to being able to issue a final report on this, but that's just an update on its progress. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I don't know quite what to say. We really need more information, but that is a hell of a rate of descent, and I'm not surprised the airframe gave way.
Yeah. We are, Liz. We are very proud our airplanes never ended up looking like this. And I note a little caption in one of these photos here. The plane landed at an extraordinary rate of speed. I think they don't quite understand exactly what happened here. It's maybe an extraordinary rate of descent, perhaps, would be appropriate, but not speed. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you were going to say something, Martin?
No, I didn't have much to add here.
Okay, very good. hopefully the final report will be issued soon on that, and we will certainly talk about it on our show. Let's move on to this next from the Aviation Herald, a final report. Speaking of final reports, this was an incident that occurred on the 5th of September back in 2022. Was that 2.5 years ago? Something like that. And I probably didn't do my math correct. Either 2.5 or 3.5 years ago. But it's a Algerie Boeing 737-800, registration 7 Tango Victor Kilo Romeo, performing flight 1080 from Oran, Algeria to Lyon, France, was on final approach to Lyon runway 17 left at 10:18 local time, so during the daytime. A KLM City Hopper ERJ 175, registration Papa Hotel Echo X-Ray Hotel, performing flight 1414 from Lyon to Amsterdam, Netherlands, lined up on runway 17 left, the same runway, for departure, and accelerated for takeoff at the same time. The French BEA reported the separation between the two aircraft on the runway was lost. So basically, the incoming jet crossed the threshold at a point where the departing jet was not quite at the other end of the runway. So it looks like the separation was about 1,900 meters or 1.03 nautical miles between the aircraft at that point. Let's see. The final report was released in French, and it says the English version will be expected in due time, stating that, oh, wait a minute, that was October 31st, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the English version came out, yay, on February 12th, 2026. That's why we're talking about it. Okay. Contributing factors. The following factors contributed to traffic management decisions that led to the non-observance of the runway separation distance applicable at the time of the event. The search for optimization of air traffic and the absence of working methods for managing traffic on a single mixed-mode runway, more specifically in the absence of means to help the controller ensure that the separation distance would be observed when the arriving aircraft crossed the runway threshold. Wow, that's a lot of words in that sentence. A recommendation was issued in 2020 by the BEA in this regard. A lack of assimilation by the controller of the new procedures, abolishing reduced separation on runway 17 left. So it looks like they were continuing to use reduced separation on this 17 left runway when they were when the actual procedures were abolished at some point before that. So they basically talk about in the report here about the controllers and their management of new policies, and also, to me, critically, distraction. It said that the local controller, the tower controller, and her assistant were focused on the A-SMIGS, SMGCS notifications, which is the Advanced Surface Movement Guidance and Control System, while all this was happening, to the detriment of monitoring the progression of the aeroplane on final and of the departing aircraft. So looks like they were all caught up in like issuing notifications or maybe receiving notifications from the SMIGS lighting system or something. I don't know. But that they seem to kind of dwell quite a bit in the final report about this. Maybe you guys can lend some
well, I'm a little bit confused, Jeff, because as far as I know, in Europe, we're not like the States over here, where you get a whole bunch of aircraft on finals, 10 miles out, all get landing clearances, all at the same time necessarily. And what happens is if they don't want you to land, they will tell you to go around. In the UK, and I'm assuming the rest of Europe, or I may not be right, you only get a landing clearance when you're clear to land, if you see what I mean. So it's fail-safe rather than the other way around. So
right.
When the runway is fit for you to land on, they will give you a clearance, and not before. If the guy was distracted, doing something else, how come the pilot landed? Did he get a clearance or not? Because if he didn't get a clearance, he should have gone around. If he did get a clearance, that meant the controller had actually taken his attention away from the ground control system, the SMECS, and was now looking at him to give him a clearance. Or he did so, gave him a clearance without looking at him, which is really naughty. So I'm a bit confused as to, the accuracy of this report, if you see what I mean.
They do say that, YouTube rejected my comment. I tried to put something in the comments, but it rejected me. But I guess it did make it. The controller cleared the arriving Boeing to land at a height of 60 feet above ground level and about 200 meters short of the runway threshold when the controller observed the nose gear of the Embraer lifting off. So they did receive landing clearance.
Now,
only
at
just
Heathrow, in my career, I was given a whole bunch of landing clearances at 50 feet. And, it was very common because they try and squeeze so many guys in that they won't give you a clearance until the preceding aircraft has departed, has taken off, which means sometimes you get very late clearances. And they sometimes even warn you, be prepared for a late clearance. And, there are times when I've actually gone on the ground frequency, can I have a quick word about our late landing clearance? Because, if you try and go around in a big airplane from less than 50 feet, you're going to be on the runway anyway. And it's not an ideal scenario for doing a go-around. It's a maneuver that can lead to issues. An aircraft can pitch angles, tail strikes, all that kind of stuff, and you don't really want to do it unless it's absolutely necessary, not just so they can squeeze another 2% of landing movements in a day. So I used to get a bit annoyed when they cut it that fine. But for me, it was perfectly normal to get a late landing clearance as the guy got off. And looking down the runway, you can't tell whether the guy's actually airborne or whether he's just started rotating or what's his situation. So you're relying on the controller to make sure that this guy is not going to abort his takeoff as you do a landing.
I think it's funny that we've got this story talking about the surface movement guidance control system, which probably would have been beneficial at Brussels with the one that took off from the taxiway. I would imagine it probably is more to prevent that kind of situation versus benefiting, separating those that are taking off and those that are landing. And I mentioned earlier on about being able to leverage the ADS-B signals from transmitted from the aircraft to be able to detect that and provide notifications. I think that will some of that came about from situations like this and the situation at SFO where the airliner lined up with 28 right, actually with the taxiway, thinking they were lined up with 28 right. So those are the kind of situations where the aircraft themselves can talk in kind of like TCAS, but for arrival and landing. I think that will be beneficial over time.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if there was, I don't know, perhaps there is. You might know, Martin. Is there another TCAS modification to provide more sophisticated collision avoidance in this phase of flight? Or is it, because normally TCAS quits as you come in to do the landing.
That's exactly why I made the distinction.
Yeah,
because it does kind of become disabled at a certain altitude to avoid kind of false registers. But in this case, as you say, it does need some work to be able to do that. And within ForeFlight, that's one of the reasons why we introduced that on ForeFlight Mobile, is because of the fact that for GA aircraft especially, that kind of thing doesn't exist, even TCAS. But it's something that we demonstrated as being valuable, and we're looking to expand that. It's a question of whether you're going to be looking at your EFB, when you're on final approach. But if there's a way that we can tie that in, I think that would be beneficial long term.
Yeah, very much so.
As we said earlier, it's usually beneficial for the pilots to be looking out the window instead of...
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Well, you get some sort of flashing light and an oral warning, perhaps.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Captain, would you like some oral?
Well, yeah, I was going to say I'd like to introduce Martin Kemp to our host, Alpha Juliet. Alpha Juliet, meet Martin Kemp, our guest host from Jeppesen ForeFlight. And
Martin,
this
do you
be,
do
I think,
Oshkosh?
I do, yes. I've been a few times, and I was there last year.
I was going to say, I'm reasonably certain we have met.
It's quite possible.
In passing. You probably wouldn't remember, but I remember seeing you. Anyway,
Okay,
nice
great.
to see you again.
You too, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so thank you for joining us. And since we
we
were
can get started
talking
now?
about ForeFlight, pardon me?
So we can get
What did
started
you
now?
say? Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
now,
we've just been chewing the cud the whole time, AJ.
Yeah, we so
Waiting
we
for
thought,
you to
it
come.
might be a good idea to have somebody on our panel that actually, uses ForeFlight. I'm assuming you do.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, never
What
mind.
have you got? The Garmin.
I'm a heathen Garmin pilot user.
Garmin 696.
Oh, now, is that the famous Garmin 696?
I will say that I am soon to be a ForeFlight Garmin dual citizen. So with
Kind of
Civil
like
Air Patrol,
Android iOS.
Oh yeah, with the
huh?
CFP, yeah. Mhm,
Yeah,
right.
once you become a transport mission pilot with Civil Air Patrol, they give you a free copy of ForeFlight. So
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, as we mentioned before, we invited Martin to join us if he could, to kind of give us an explanation of how things work in ForeFlight as far as, well, at least as much as the NOTAM notification world. Because this whole thing was spurred from the accident that occurred, a couple of months ago or last month?
talking about the helicopter.
Recently, the helicopter crash hitting the slack line and killing all aboard, and it was just quite a tragedy. So, so I put out the bat signal, and Martin responded, and thankfully we found he found some time to be able to join us. Now, normally, Martin, tell us you reside in the great state of the Lone Star State, right? Texas.
Yeah. Austin, Texas is where I'm based. Yeah.
That's a beautiful
But
city.
I'm here in. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it has in my opinion, the best barbecue in the world in Austin.
I mean, that's
Outside
just
of
a
my
given.
house.
Absolutely.
Outside of my house.
I mean,
I'm
okay.
talking about retail. But anyway, and you were just about to say you were in some other state.
Right now, I'm up at the Jeppesen ForeFlight office in Centennial, Colorado. So right by the airport. I actually had to go into a closed room so I didn't get distracted by the aircraft taking off and landing at Centennial.
Good. Okay, so I am now going to hand you the reins. Let's see, over here. They're invisible reins.
Oh, is it? There we go.
Okay, you have the aircraft.
I have the
control.
aircraft. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, so I just wanted to say thanks very much for having me on the show. I appreciated the comments and the feedback that you'd received. I forget the name from the gentleman that sent in the feedback, talking about, wouldn't it be great to be able to visualize these things in ForeFlight? So, I received the bat signal and just wanted to be able to share some of the things that we're doing, in ForeFlight. And then also, as you said in the intro, I'm actually head of commercial flight deck at Jeppesen ForeFlight. So, Flight Deck Pro is my primary product, which is the one that is used on commercial airliners all around the world. So, and these are, products that are based on very similar technology, but used by different crews. And so sometimes the presentation or the level of detail can be different between them. Liz, if you want, would you mind just jumping to slide 9 first? Because I actually wanted to talk about ForeFlight first. I just realized. Thank you. So relevant to the conversation, and I had a chat with our team just to say, what would have been displayed. And I don't have the exact example, but I just wanted to give some examples from ForeFlight Mobile. So you can see here, this is what's called our aeronautical layer. And one of the things that we can display here are NOTAMs. So you'll see on the right-hand side, I've tapped where the green circle is inside that orange box. There you go. Thank you. Just to indicate that, this is a particular NOTAM for a restricted area. And there is information that goes with a NOTAM that actually defines its geographic location. And it doesn't have to be a circle. It can be a polygon like we're seeing here. But you'll see these the circles to the left around, GRK and ILE. So there are NOTAMs there as well, displayed with the green dotted line as a circle. So I can tap on those and I can view them. So if you go down one slide now, Liz. Thank you. So here I've tapped on another polygon, and this one is for UAS scheduled flights. And that one of the things that you'll notice is that, so on the left-hand side, and then in the text on the right, the red active, we actually determine when the NOTAMs are active or not. And based on the current time of your iPad, we will display that just to help to provide that level of situational awareness as well of like, okay, well, there's a NOTAM there, but it's not due to be active until maybe when I'm due to land. So we can highlight that. And let's go to the final one, please, Liz. I just wanted to show this one. Do you have slide 11, Liz? There we go. Great. Thank you. So here's an example of an extreme example. And you'll see here in this particular area, there's a whole load of wind farms around here, some of which are unlit. And so especially, thinking about general aviation pilots, including, helicopter pilots, it can be enormously relevant here to be able to talk about, the particular regions. And we can see the proliferation of NOTAMs in this particular area. With ForeFlight's ability to display that, if we come back to the Arizona case, they'd actually published a NOTAM at the local airport, which was the one that this pilot took off from. But I was talking to the team, and it would actually have highlighted that particular region in the canyon, with a grey circle to indicate that there was a NOTAM there. Had they tapped on it, they would have been able to see it. And also likelihood, if they'd planned a route through that canyon, the briefing would have highlighted that NOTAM as well. So, as I say, visually, we've been working to do that. I will stress, we're always working to improve it. So, there are things that on the presentation, when it's active, the timesheets, that kind of thing as someone said that NOTAMs are not particularly well presented.
That's what NOTAMs are. They're just a bunch of garbage.
There's somebody who was like the chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board at the time, I think.
Yeah, fairly significant. So one of the reasons why that's important to us is because, a lot of this content is just in basically English that we then, or even worse, like in an encoded version of English. So we do a lot of work to be able to interpret that and make that available to, flight crews, to dispatchers, to planners and the like as well. So I noticed that Box has asked a question about why doesn't Jeppesen FG Pro have that? So Liz, if you want to go to slide 1 now.
Got Liz really busy working in the
background.
I
know. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you for the producer. Yeah. Running her through her paces.
Indeed. Last year, Jeppesen and ForeFlight have been working together for a long time, actually part of Boeing, but we separated out just late last year as Jeppesen ForeFlight, an independent company. One of the advantages of that is that we're able to really leverage that technology across both of the products, and the NOTAMs is one of the big areas that we've been working on for quite a while to do this. So this is, I will stress, this is a pre-release version. This is coming to a version near you in Flight Deck Pro, but just to give you an idea about what it offers. I mentioned earlier on about the airport moving map, and this is an example that we see here. This is actually Austin, my home airport. And you'll notice that we have the taxiways here. So the runway is highlighted in green, but to the left we have 2 taxiways, and there are elements on there that are red. And so, what I was able to do here is actually tap on taxiway alpha. That's why the A is green. And what it highlights now is the NOTAM on the left. And we highlighted that it's closed, but you'll see also in green underneath it, it says that it's active as well. So that NOTAM is active right now. And so one thing to bear in mind with this, and if we go to the next slide now, Liz. There we go. 2 parallel taxiways, but one of them is only half red and the other one is fully red. And that's because, and this is where I mean about the English, in the English definition of it, they've actually said between taxiway, and I've got to read it tight, but I think November and hotel is the only that bit is closed, and so this is one of the areas that we had to work really hard on, is to be able to interpret that reliably and be able to highlight that, because the feedback that we got from crews that we were working with trying this out is, well, you can't close the whole taxiway, otherwise I won't taxi on it, but especially if only part of it is actually closed, and so that's the hardest part of it. So you'll notice this one is also marked as active. NOTAMs can sometimes have these weird timesheets where it's like, okay, well, it's effective on this date and because it stops being effective on this date, but in between it might be only Mondays and Wednesdays, or when you've got your right hand in the air, or particular times. So we had to interpret that as well, to make it reliable. So if we just go down to the next one now, Liz, thank you. So here is an example. Actually, let's go to the next one. I don't want to talk about that one just yet. There we go. So here, for instance, at Denver, this is a situation. The one that's highlighted on the left is marked as scheduled. So this is a runway closure, but it's not active right now. And funnily enough, this was my flight from Austin to Denver. I just happened to catch this one. And so I could sit there for the minute waiting for it to tick over to 1900 Zulu. And then I would see the next slide. So now what it was able to do is highlight that it's active, and then graphically on the right-hand side, there's an extra warning marker near the left-right number. So I think 8 and 27 or 25 rather. It's got a little horizontal exclamation mark next to it, just to indicate that one, just above the 11. Liz, there you go. Thank you. Just there, that little red marker there. So that wasn't there before. So it, now textually and graphically, we're able to highlight that there is something different about it. This NOTAM is actually active, and so this is, as I say, this is something that we're we've been putting a lot of effort into, and this is actually worldwide as well. That's another significant part. So we always pride ourselves on working to provide a worldwide service for this. So as I say, coming to a version of Flight Deck Pro near you, and I just thought it would be a great opportunity to be able to share, firstly, kind of how hard it is to interpret this, but secondly, the efforts that we're putting into to be able to increase that situational awareness.
That's amazing, this capability and tool. I haul boxes again from our live audience. I love Flight Deck Pro. It's way more overseeable than our briefing packages, and I find myself catching way more gotchas than my colleagues who are nose deep in the stack of paper or PDF NOTAMs. Yeah. Being able to see this visually, visual depiction of closed airways, et cetera, would be appreciated, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I didn't cover there, Liz, if you do want to share again, if you wouldn't mind. So one of the other areas that we have is, and thank you, I hold boxes. I really appreciate that. Slide 6.
Slide 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. Yeah, great. So this is an example. This is looking over in where some of the conflict is going on in Russia and Belarus and Ukraine. So we're able to highlight. There are NOTAMs about particular flight restrictions there as well. So this is another part that we've been working on, is not just at the airport, but also in the en route. So for instance, to be able to then highlight, regions, and then I'll certainly take your feedback, IHOL boxes about the airways, to be able to provide that en route feedback as well. But yeah, so as I say, this is an ongoing thing that we're always working on. But I'm really, really pleased to be able to provide this extra information. If we can just go down to the next one, there was the situation with El Paso, with the drone and the lasers. So we did actually capture when that the TFR, and also when the NOTAM was published about that region that closed everyone off for potentially 10 days.
You should ask where was the party balloon?
Well, that one didn't have ADSB, so we couldn't show the traffic for that, unfortunately.
Love it.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that,
really
we have some feedback.
This.
I don't know if we're going to get to it or not, but somebody talks about something that they saw on Flight Radar 24 involving a balloon. But, anyway,
really?
I digress.
Nick's favorite subject.
Yeah,
absolutely. Martin, I appreciate the complexity of interpreting someone's handwritten English, or certainly they may not even have English as their first language when they write their NOTAMs, and how hard it must be to interpret. I see the perfect world is every tower would have an iPad with ForeFlight on it, and they'd actually create a visual version on ForeFlight that would be fed into the NOTAM system and then pop up again, because you wouldn't have to have this software interpretation of an English very simplistic NOTAM trying to describe things and work out the lats and longs. If people were able to use an interactive map when they actually design the NOTAM and correctly mark the taxiway and when it's going to be closed, etc., or whatever, that would be a perfect world. But just going back to the way these are displayed, can you ever see a time when you could be flying along and rather than have a NOTAM that is in your vicinity come up in its current format, but you get something on the map that actually alerts you to its present on your flight path, rather than just displaying the NOTAM and perhaps putting a grey circle on it? Because I'm thinking of the guys in the helicopter chatting away, they've got their kids on board, etc., and they're looking out at the scenery. What you really want, if you're about to hit something like a slack line or whatever, something that's really going to grab your attention.
Yeah, indeed. And so actually, ForeFlight does do that, ForeFlight Mobile. So as you're flying along, for instance, with TFRs, it will detect, when they're active, and if you're going to fly through it while it's active, then it will pop up and it will say TFR ahead, temporary flight restrictions, and the same with NOTAMs as well. So yeah, it's definitely it's one of those things where EFBs are, electronic flight bags are supposed to be advisory, so they're not allowed to kind of make loud noises or like really kind of capture too much of your attention. But in a GA airplane, that's a different situation. So we can do that. We can provide alerts so for instance, if you have the Bose headset connected via Bluetooth, you'd hear the notification or potentially over the radios, and be able to visually see that as well. And I have to admit, I actually got caught by that one time. We were doing an unusual, like a somewhat unplanned flight up to Dallas. It happens that going from Austin to Dallas goes right through the middle of the restricted area. And as we were flying along, it popped up and said, restricted area ahead. And so we were able to then divert. And almost as soon as that happened, that's when ATC got on and said, you do know you're just about to fly through a restricted area, don't you? I was like, yeah, ForeFlight just told me. So it was very great.
Martin, I would love for you to reenact that scenario. So like you're flying and then just like,
hang on, let me just see if I can
roll it up to about 90 degrees.
Yeah, so, brilliant.
It's amazing. It really is.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah, AJ, do you have any questions for Martin regarding EFBs and software and that kind of thing? All right, looks like we have an active audience. iHaul Boxes again. Let's see, having a discussion with Neil Lanwarn. Jeppesen is giving us taxi time estimations already these days if you select runway and stand. It's using Flight Radar 24 traffic data and displays ground TFC, or traffic, I'm sorry.
Traffic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Neil started with, he asked, that was prompted by Neil's question, will civilian systems be able to talk to each other in the future, like Waze for drivers and data integration in the military, so everyone can share information in real time?
Yeah. We often describe the connectivity between the EFB and the aircraft as being the longest meter in aviation, because you've got like the certified systems and the uncertified ones. But we're always getting more and more information, and especially Wi-Fi is something that we're able to leverage more and more. Moving up that way, and especially as iHaul Boxes mentions about the taxi time. So what we're able to do is we get a feed from Flight Radar 24 that we analyze using machine learning to be able to determine the taxi time. So, when an aircraft comes off stand versus when they get to the runway or vice versa. And then we communicate that to the crews, through Flight Deck Pro. It gives the not just the average times, but we can actually highlight when there are spikes as well. And then the final part is being able to visualize the traffic on the airport surface. So the airport moving map that I showed you, you can actually see the traffic moving around. So for instance, if you're just about to take off, and entering a runway, you could look and see, is there traffic on final, and is it closer than I'd expect, or vice versa. And similarly, to help prevent, actually one of the big advantages is there are times when people might be in the long conga line waiting to take off, and they might want to turn off the seatbelt light so that maybe someone can go and relieve themselves. And so, that's often is quoted as being an advantage, is they can see how far they are in the conga line. Okay, we're 15 back. We're not going to be taking off in a while. Let's turn the light off so people can go and use the bathroom. So it's not just for a safety perspective, it can be a comfort factor as well. And of course, yes. High boxes, the areas where they're long startup times, we can assist with reduced engine taxi as well. If people see how long it's going to take to taxi, they can wait a bit longer to start up that second or third or fourth engine. As they're taxiing, save some fuel. So there's significant opportunity there.
But most importantly, is it going to suggest detours to get around these areas of heavy congestion?
For taxi, well, I mean,
like ways.
All we can do is just communicate what's been officially communicated. How you taxi on the airport surface is your problem.
This new taxi reading will save you 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Would you like to accept this? Yes. And ATC goes, where are you going? What are you doing?
I was offered a new route. Hello.
Yeah. So one of the things that has been talked about is in the same way that you have CPDLC, in flight for digital instructions, the same with pre-departure clearance, digital instruction for the clearance. Being able to get a digital taxi instruction is something that we've been talking about. So that way you could even come back and say, hey, I see there is a shorter route around this traffic. Maybe I could take a shorter route. I'm sure no one will have a problem with that.
Will you be will you be implementing J number readouts for all the aircraft on the app?
Yes, I think we'll have to do an Apple and keep that private though, so that no one else knows.
And the other thing I was going to say is that if you get it like officially certified, then you could charge like 100 times what you're charging now for the app.
Yes,
right?
and release once every 10 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's always the challenge that we have is that balance of like certification versus the frequency of release. And right now we favor being able to bring capabilities out quickly. But yeah, absolutely, it's definitely something that has been discussed about moving towards a certified view from that point of view.
With that in mind, is there anything that's happening on the GA style software that you can see being very useful for airliner crews that is in the pipeline?
Well, so the NOTAMs was one of the first examples. One of the other areas is the 3D visualization. So if you imagine being with if you're coming into an approach, for instance, and Max Trescott was just talking about a situation at Steamboat Springs where they were on an RNAV with an advisory glide slope. And it turns out that there was a comment in the notes that says, by the way, there's an obstacle on the advisory glide slope once you pass the MDA, and you should go around it. So being able to visualize that approach, in 3D, understand what the obstructions are in advance, is an area that we're interested in from that point of view. So now you're not just looking at a flat view of the approach. You can actually get that full visualization and understand, these are the things that we have to watch out for.
Excellent. That's referencing a very recent accident that occurred at Steamboat Springs in an Epic 1000, I think.
Epic 1000, yeah.
Yeah, they were flying this approach at night, and they went slamming right into the they almost cleared that ridge line, but they collided with the top of the ridge line and killed all four on board, which is a tragedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Nick, I think you were...
No, that was my question.
No?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Maine Marin in our live audience says, Fast Taxi Jeff is no longer bending the machine learning curve.
I think it was looking for your tail numbers and deliberately excluding those ones, Jeff.
No, this iHall Box says Jeff would have needed section control warnings in the app. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah. I know. I love it too. It's there to facilitate things. Good, you guys understand that because our IT department does not. Oh, okay. IT. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. IT. Go ahead, pop that back. IT is there to facilitate things. Good, you guys understand that because our IT department does not. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of smart folks working at Jeppesen ForeFlight for sure, and doing a lot of great things to help with the flight safety and ground safety. Oh yeah, okay. We're so thank you so much, Martin, for the explanation of what's happening with the ForeFlight app and also what is to come possibly in the future. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Liz wants us to end the news segment with this item, a kind of a lighter news item, the last one I believe in the lineup. And Jay, is it Jay? P. Peter or Papa, and I'm going to. It involves a video, so let me get that set up here. I'm trying to find my video, Dun-dun. And here we go. All right, so let me hit play. Okay, so this is we're looking at a A320 Neo, I think. The livery is Vueling, Vueling.com, and there's a guy, a Moroccan citizen, I think, on top of the fuselage, kind of doing a little, I don't know, some kind of a dance or some kind of a gymnastic maneuver. I'm not sure. He has a bag with him. Oh, now he's running to the left up toward the front of the aircraft. Oh, he's getting a running start, heading back toward the tail. Not really sure exactly what precipitated this. Valencia, Spain. This is where this occurred, apparently. The people talking in the background are speaking a language that I don't understand. I think it's probably Spanish, if this is Spain. Pretty good, huh? I think that deserves a go.
I think it's impressive that he was able to get all the way up there because there's not a lot of handholds on the side of a A320.
I was asking Liz that earlier, like how did he get up there? Because yeah.
I wonder if he could, because it looked like there was an air stair attached to the door. So I wonder if he just used the handrail and did a little parkour move.
I don't know. Let me see if I can. It's a new Olympic sport. Okay, so that's what you're.
Doesn't that look like an air
AJ,
stair right there in the corner?
Yeah, it is. That's the. Let me back it up a little bit more. Yeah, that's definitely the right side of the air stairs. But the door is closed, the boarding door. Now, they may have closed it after this dude somehow got up on top of the airplane, and they thought, oh, we better close the door. But, as Liz said, well, you can't hear her, but she's saying in the background that there's no news item or narrative or anything explaining what exactly happened here, why this guy was up here.
If you just remove the air stairs from the side of the airplane, this becomes a self-correcting problem.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, you just kind of board up as normal and then just
carry on,
taxi out and take off. Kind of like when the bug is on your windshield. You wonder how long it's going to be able to hang on before it flies off. I guess the same thing in this case. I don't know. Possible show title from Neil Anwar.
Got it.
What a feeling, dancing on the ceiling. I love it. Good one.
Perhaps it could be a new Winter Olympic sport.
Yeah. Was he the guy at the Super Bowl? No, different guy.
What was the guy at the Super Bowl doing?
Oh, he was out there running on the football field. I think that's the one that.
What's the Super Bowl?
About. Super Bowl's that game that people play with the oddly shaped ball.
Yep. You have to have a spoon.
Football. Anyway, yeah, it's time to get to know us. Let me play this right here. The time of the show where we get to know what has been going on with everybody between shows and maybe learn a little bit more personal details about guest hosts like Martin Kemp. So, yeah, it's my favorite part of the show, actually. So let's start with Martin. You told us you're the head of the commercial flight deck at Jeppesen ForeFlight. I think I said that correctly.
Yes.
And that you are a resident of live in the Austin, Texas area, which is an amazing city with amazing barbecue. but not to slight Alpha Juliet's barbecue. That's awesome barbecue as well. So tell us a little bit about your private life. Not everything. We don't want to know everything.
Sure.
The first thing I want to say is that if you're watching the video, you'll see a beautiful airplane and a beautiful family inside the airplane. Now, is that the family that comes with the picture in the frame, or is that actually
Yes.
your family?
This is my family. So first thing, when we bought the plane, one of the things that I always wanted to do was an air-to-air shot and get a photo. And it turns out that the photographer for Piper's magazine is based in Texas, not too far from us. And he put a request out on Facebook saying, hey, who'd like to get a photo of their plane? So I reached out and he agreed to do that. And my family spent the whole weekend like cleaning and polishing this plane ready for it. Really especially nice. For the breakaway shot. And my wife spent like, a whole day just cleaning the underside of quite a while of dirt and exhaust from there. But one of the things that I really, really wanted was to have someone in every window, because often you see the air-to-air shots, it's always like one or two people at the front. I was like, no, I've got 4 windows. Let's, we could make this work. And so I was really, really happy with this shot. And it was just at sunset, so it was beautiful.
It's great.
So
the golden hour. Huh?
Indeed, yes.
As soon as I saw that, Martin, I was thinking about how to recreate that with the 206. That's a really cool
absolutely.
Photo.
So it ended up being on the cover of Piper's magazine as well, which I was very pleased with. So it was awesome.
Very cool.
So we were. I was saying earlier on, I joined ForeFlight nearly 10 years this year, and didn't have aviation experience prior to that. I kind of knew how to control a plane just in terms of the joystick, but that was the limit. And so when I joined ForeFlight, I was fortunate enough to be able to learn how to fly through them. So leveraging my software background, but then also being able to develop that into aviation has been awesome. And I've met so many wonderful people, through podcasts, through work, and various situations like that. So it's just fantastic. And fortunately, my family, are supportive of the hobby, it's great to have them come out. My daughter actually. She has 3 goals in life. She wants to get to solo before she gets a driving license, to go skydiving and to go wing walking, which was really cool. So,
Have you started her in gliders yet?
We have not. No.
That is absolutely the place to start.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
My 15-year-old has soloed in a glider already, and
really awesome.
The best foundation you can give to any pilot ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a club not too far north from us, so we'll have to go and give that a go. I think she'd love that. She's the daredevil of the family. She's gymnast and does tumbling and cheerleading and the things. So when we get in the plane, she likes it. Sorry, go ahead, AJ.
I would say, how old is she now?
She's 13, coming on 14.
Get her in a glider now because she can solo at 14.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she would love that. She's going to be listening to this, and she's going to be like, "Okay, I'm going to do that." I'm sure.
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah. So
sounds like you have an amazing family, Martin. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So my son is in JROTC with the Air Force, and so he wants to learn to fly as well. He's been going through it. So yeah, it's awesome. We have great fun. So flying is what was it about cold, rainy UK that sent me to Texas? Well, I wonder. And funny enough, we're in Boston for 8 years prior to that as well. So my wife was cold every day. She's from Texas, so she was like, "I want to move to Texas," and I said, "Okay, as long as it's Austin." Indeed. Yeah. So it took me a bit. We moved in August, so it took me a bit to get used to the temperature. But
it's a little hot
now.
in
yes.
August.
Yeah.
And cold this time of year.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, we've had the cold spells, but it's been good. It's lovely weather. So I and then otherwise, cycling is my other hobby. It's one of those things where the weather for cycling is pretty much the same as flying weather, so it's always difficult to decide which to do. But since I got my instrument rating when it's cloudy, now I have a greater chance of actually going flying. So yeah.
Nice. So what kind of cycling do you do? Like anything competitive or just recreational or what?
I used to, yeah. So I road riding is my thing, and I actually used to do track riding. So track racing in the UK, they have a thing called grass track racing. So I used to do that. So imagine like a track basically the size of a running field, but on grass, no brakes, with fixed gears. I think the UK is the only place that they do it, but I used to enjoy that. Then when I moved to the US, I got into road riding and do some racing at a local track here. So yeah, it's great fun.
Got to watch out for those petonkers out there, though, in the middle of the track. You know, they're in England.
Yeah. So actually, Nick, imagine on a school playing field, they would just mark out a track to do it on. So it would actually be literally on grass.
It's all flat.
So, yeah, I did some velodrome as well, but yeah, I have some stories about some races that we did on grass. It can be pretty intense at times, definitely. So
excellent,
multifaceted you are, and your interests and capabilities. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great. Well, again, thank you and we'll, I'm sure, before you leave, thank you again, but great to have you with us, Martin. And
absolutely
love to have you as many times as you'd like to come and join us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and look forward to hopefully seeing you up in Oshkosh as well. So thank you.
Yeah. That was that'll be a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to rendezvous in Oshkosh. And Liz said that just remind you that at any point that you need to take off, just give us a quick signal, and we'll say
make sure you're on the runway though.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure you're on the runway, and make sure you don't have a Moroccan guy on the roof, the ceiling, dancing on the ceiling. All right, Captain Nick, how have you been, sir?
Yeah, I've been surviving. Thank you very much. Yeah, another week passes and the weather gets a little warmer. Would you believe it started off at barely above zero, and next week it's going to be in double figures. But I was, I know it's my turn for a bit of weather.
It's okay for him to bring it up.
Yeah, indeed, because I'm English. We're required to. It's part of the contract. I was down at the Petanque Court doing some. Playing the other day, and you can see everyone's dressed up except we have one idiot who was wearing very tight shorts. So I was
too tight.
Could you describe for the audience what a budgie actually is?
Yeah. But all the old fellas, they're all wrapped up to the nines because it was actually damn freezing. But Alistair's out there in his shorts. Oh, where he's gone actually? Right, Nick, there he is.
For those unfamiliar with the term, could you describe what a budgie is?
It's a form of smuggling where you put small creatures into items of clothing and try and get through customs. So,
this is different than sticking ferrets down your pants like that other thing.
Well, we do that as well. I don't, but
we
are renowned. The idiots in Yorkshire are renowned for sticking ferrets down their trousers. They put string around their ankles to stop them escaping, and then feed them in through their fly, and apparently it's quite a sight to see. Anyway, that I wasn't doing any ferret, whatever they call that. I forgot what they call it now.
Ferret fishing.
Anyway, while I'm here, I'm just going to mention the artwork. We had a number of suggestions, like a weather summary for APG. Wheelie State, Can I Hold Your Clock, Pilots in Jail, Nose Spray. But the one that won out was French hunting stuff. And in fact, we found a picture of Jeff in his spare time flying his very modern GA aircraft.
A few years ago.
And he's on a baguette hunt. Because we did manage to, it was you, AJ, wouldn't have brought it up. There was
Safari
hunting
Club
in Paris, and I was going, wow.
Oh, yeah.
This is the sort of thing you'd hunt in Paris, of course, flying baguettes. Yeah, French berets, flying berets. So there's Jeff doing his thing. You look very handsome, I thought, there, Jeff. With
thank you.
Is
gun. Yes, you
Thank
do
you for
indeed
noticing
have a
those.
big gun.
Is the beret and the baguette kind of like a doe and a buck? So you hunt one but not the other?
I don't know. The
the
French are
rules
odd people when it comes to their hunting. Anyway, you'll find in the big pictures, Liz, if you wouldn't mind. What? Oh dear. How do I get those in nice and?
I can probably facilitate that if you'll
Oh,
just
can you?
bear with me for a second.
Do you have them somewhere?
I think so. Let's
Or
see.
perhaps I can find
Oh
out.
no,
whether-
I'm sorry. In Evernote, you only have the one. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know.
I can't help. No,
Damn.
sorry.
Oh my God, what are we going to do?
This
Can
is
you
a
bear
travesty.
with me for 2 secs while
Cancel
I,
the show.
So
Yeah, we'll have to start over.
no, you won't. No, you won't. I'm going to do it.
Damn it.
Right, here we go. Now, how do I do that? I do that, and then I.
That's not gone well.
Why don't we do this until he actually gets it there, and then we'll.
Oh, I'm here. Don't worry. Relax.
Okay.
You guys.
So people have something to see other than a
you
blank
little
screen.
faith.
You're saying
what
this is
am I
better,
gonna
Jeff?
go- Stop
Yeah, maybe
screen.
you're right. Let's just go to that.
Share screen. Share screen. Window. There we go. Now there's a. Can you see that?
Aha.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Good going, sir.
There you go. There's Jeff. That gives you a quick look at the penguin, the jackass, who is.
Are
sitting
you calling
there
me a
on-
jackass again? Is
Yeah,
that what
I'm
you're doing?
sorry, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, but if the
kinda looks like a
hat
good ornament.
fits, if the cap fits, you've got to wear it on the top of the radiator. And if you look underneath the jackass, down near the propeller shaft,
I see it.
you can
The
see
horsepower
it's a 695 horsepower engine. 695. There's the show
That
note.
seems optimistic for that.
Yeah, it does.
style of
Very
engine.
powerful engine.
Well, it's got to be pretty powerful to drag Jeff around. Come on. Yeah, exactly.
funny.
Now, next question is, how do I close that window? And Jeff, how do I close that window? All right. Well, I'm just trying
But
to.
then
get
you have to
them-
like stop sharing, and then.
Well, I can't see the what's it because the picture's in the way. That's better. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other one I needed to show you was this one. So there's that, and that can go there, and that can go there, and share screen, and green, blah, blah, window, that one. Right. We've now got, can you see that?
No.
Share.
We don't. You haven't shared it yet.
Share.
There we go.
Got it now?
Nope.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right. Look on the bottom left beret. There you go. There's the
I see the
logo.
Logo.
Yeah.
Indeedy. The hidden logo. I don't think there was anything else on that one. We've done everything. So that was the only bit missing. There you go. All done.
That was worth
Excellent.
the journey.
They're no easier to see on the show than they are on Instagram.
Very true. Right.
Well, because then we get a little explanation with everything, on the
Oh,
show.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, at least Nick's zooming in on the right spot anyway.
Yeah. True.
Right. That's me. I'm done. Bye-bye.
I guess
Okay.
am I the only one left?
Uh,
Oh, Jeff, you didn't go yet.
no.
Go ahead.
Have I? Should I?
You're allowed
Do you
to.
think? Oh, I meant to ask this
You must.
before we started the show. Do we really want? I guess we can quickly talk about something that we shared in the APG crew lounge, the communications that we have between shows with the APG crew members, and RJ shared something that I think was talked about on Airplane Geeks podcast not long ago, and that is the what is it called? The 737 hangar. Hang on, let me see. Let me get to. Yeah, new studio-produced 1940s hangar dance music album called 737 Hangar Dance. by the group Speed Break Armed, which you gotta love. So acclaimed artist, airline pilot, author, and piano technician Peter Buffington is thrilled to announce the release of his groundbreaking fifth studio album, 737 Hangar Dance, by Speed Break Armed, releasing worldwide on February 12, 2026. So just last week, conceived as a bold departure from the high-octane energy of previous releases, 737 Hangar Dance transforms the spirit of aviation into pure dance floor magic. This one-of-a-kind project resurrects the glamorous atmosphere of the 1940s big band hangar dances, those legendary wartime and post-war gatherings where pilots, mechanics, and sweethearts swung the night away, then fearlessly evolves into contemporary swing, elegant waltzes, East Coast swing, West Coast swing, and heartfelt slow dances. Anyway, we're going to put a link to this. I'm not going to play it right now because I know that that's going to be a violation of YouTube's copyright stuff. So, but I love it because I love big band stuff and swing music and that kind
and you
of
like swinging.
And I love, well, hey, no, I told you not to share everything about all the details of my private life. Yeah, it's really, really great music. It's, you just can imagine all those swing dancers out there just, cutting a rug on the dance floor, and it's really good stuff. So I just wanted to mention that since RJ kind of let us know in our little private group about this thing, and then found out later that, Airplane Geeks have already talked about this, but I thought it was worth mentioning to this. I know that we have a lot of crossover audience, but for those of you out there who don't listen to the Airplane Geeks podcast, which is the longest running aviation podcast, I think, still running out there, and it's a great one for sure. So check it out when you can. But that's all I had, and then a busy week at church because this, the Tuesday was Fat Tuesday or Mardi Gras, the day before the liturgical season of Lent starts in several Christian denominations, including the Catholic Church. And for Ash Wednesday, which was yesterday. And so now we have entered the season of Lent, kind of a penitential season. And so sang at an Ash Wednesday Mass last night. And then this Friday, we start, doing many of the Lenten observances and devotions and that kind of thing. So going to be singing on Friday nights as well as doing the normal weekend Masses. So that's pretty much it for me. So, yeah, singing all weekend for sure.
Don't lose your voice.
Yeah. That's it. So AJ, Alpha Juliet.
I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go to the page where I can see it. Okay. Neil Lanwarn says the Shuttleworth Collection does a 1940s dance and air show every year at Old Warden. This sounds like my sort of thing. Yeah. Cool. We'll check it out. I'll put the link to it in the show notes, Neil. And what? I haul boxes to Neil wearing shorts to Nick. Wearing shorts to a bowling match sounds painfully dangerous for men of age. Yeah.
You bet.
It does.
Yeah, but Mad Al is nothing if not adventurous.
All right.
I think I had the intuition that Martin sounded like he needed to say goodbye.
Okay.
I'm afraid so. Right. Yes, I have to leave. But thank you once again for having me on the show.
Oh.
It's been fantastic to engage with you all, and I appreciate everything that you do. So thank you.
Well, we appreciate everything you do, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to see you. Hope to see you again soon.
Yep, definitely. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So let's see. This past weekend had a pretty great weekend, actually. Got to go flying twice before Valentine's Day, and then me and the wife decided to offset Valentine's Day by a day. So we went, we kicked the kids out, sent them to grandparents' house, and got to go to a little bed and breakfast, literally a staycation, because the bed and breakfast is like 15 minutes from our house, but it has the beautiful advantage of not having children's accessories strewn about it. So
Children not included.
children not included. Exactly correct. So had a nice little overnight. Went to a nice dinner. It's right on Marietta Square. So if anybody's familiar with the Marietta area, it's a really nice little kind of old town. Been around since the I don't know, most of the buildings I think are mid 1800s, somewhere in that ballpark. So very, very cool kind of old architecture and that kind of thing. But lots of little restaurants and bars and that kind of thing. So had a really nice little, like I said, overnight staycation, and then got to do a little multi-currency flying on Monday, and so that was nice to get in the old Apache again. And other than that, just back to work. So working. We're almost done with one class.
Back to work.
Got the new class already there, so we actually have run out of space for students. So
How many classes have you run so far?
This will be the incoming class that's in the classroom right now. They haven't made it to the lab. Is our 5th class, I think. 4th or 5th. I think it's the 5th. So, we're apparently, our schedule is now overlapped, 0 gap between classes until like Christmas. So they overlap by about 2 weeks. So it'll be fairly interesting.
Okay.
So no vacation for me.
Work.
Work.
Well, okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like it sometimes. That's not
iHaul
that's
box
not
is
inaccurate.
multi-currency. You paid half in pesos. Yeah. Well, the dollar to peso conversion is pretty good.
We call it the paycheck lottery because you kind of never know what you're going to get.
Oh boy.
That's
Really?
another story for another time.
Oh, okay. Is the government currently still shut down?
Nope. It's the Department of Transportation is funded. Yeah, the only thing that's closed is the part that everybody hates right now. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Time for some coffee. I always enjoy a good cup of coffee.
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks.
Yes, please.
I love coffee. I love tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup.
Oh, yeah. Coffee. Nothing better than a nice hot cup of coffee, except maybe your donations to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. You can join the Coffee Fund Cadre or the Coffee Bar Club if you'd like to, if you have the resources, like if you need to spend it on coffee or flying lessons or food and shelter and that kind of thing, then forget it, or ForeFlight, yeah. So a couple different ways that you can participate in the Coffee Bar Club. One is called the Coffee Fund Classic Method, and we didn't have any one-off contributions via that mechanism between this show and last, which is fine. And the other way to do it is to become a producer or a patron, actually, of this show. Every time I say producer, Liz thinks I'm going to fire her and replace her with somebody, but I'm not. Oh, maybe she's hoping that that's going to be the case, I think. Anyway, we have a new producer level on Patreon, a new patron named Jade A. So thank you very much, Jade. Jade A is grade A in my book. So thank you very much. If you're interested in learning more about the Coffee Fund, please head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did, and we will too. I couldn't resist grade A. Yes. Oh, good. This is working out well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Martin was that was so nice of him to donate his time and help.
And aren't you proud of me? I didn't start any Garmin ForeFlight feud nonsense. And
thank you very much.
I did good.
Appreciate that.
I did good.
Yes, you did.
We were hoping that you were going to.
I did want to ask him. So, how surprised were you when Garmin came out with smart charts? There was a big kerfuffle because Garmin came out with a
well, thank you for
feature.
not asking that question. Oh, time for the bumper. Oh, hang on. Let me get my feedback notebook up first. Okay. Here we go. Let's do some feedback.
Captain, incoming message.
This from Sam Bolog in Los Angeles area, Los Angeles, California area. Hello. I know you've discussed the stories with photos of a Cessna 150 when the news item was about an Airbus A350, etc., etc. But I have been catching many errors on social media and from sites that at first seemed to be legitimate. Yeah, nothing's legitimate anymore, except for this show. And he said maybe they are not reputable sites. Yeah, good question. Two very recent examples are the attached photos of Delta and Air India's A380s.
Wow.
Are you, putting that up there, Liz? Oh yeah, there we go. There's the Delta A380 right there. And there's the Air India A380. The only problem is that neither airline has any A380s in their fleets. I cannot, or ever has never. Yeah, they've never had them. So Sam says, I cannot find any evidence that these carriers have any 380s in their fleet. Apparently, no U.S. carriers have purchased the A380, which I never thought of. I didn't save it, but there was also a site that shows an A380 on final approach, and when they go back and forth from the flight deck to the landing views, there are two very young girls that appear to be in their early 20s at the controls. Also, they are in a Boeing because there are yokes, not side sticks.
Oh,
details,
the yolks on you.
Details, Sam.
Hey, could you go back to that Air India one? Well, you see, they actually say it's AI because it's an AI 180.
Bam. Okay, where is it?
No, isn't it supposed to be an AI 380?
Joke's on you. Anyway, Sam continues, my concern is that the public is being fed so much untrue information, which is nothing new, not only in aviation, but all areas. Yep. That's the world we live in now, especially with AI. I mean, you can't trust anything you see anymore. Videos, pictures, audio. You can trust us until the AI takes over. Let's see. I've noticed that if I visit IG sites pertaining to subjects that I'm knowledgeable about, Instagram, okay, that I'm knowledgeable about, I'm finding so much misinformation. Yep. Yeah, that's so true. Do you feel it's something to be concerned about in aviation? Yeah, but like, what can you do about it, right? Every time that there is an accident or any mechanical problem reported, everyone and their brother believes that a majority of aircraft are falling from the sky. Well, Sam, they are. I've heard so many people seriously believing that seat 11A is the only safe seat.
We're not supposed to say that in public.
One.
You can't say that out loud. They're not
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to know.
Yeah, I'll remove that in post.
That's very true. Anyway, how many fingers are in your hand?
Well, yeah, AI still hasn't figured that out. I'm sorry. Let me look at what Nick is doing. Okay. Oh yeah, look at all the fingers in your hand. Is that why AI thinks that we have so many fingers on our hands? Because
Probably.
of Nick? Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Whereas the Americans only have one finger.
I still have people that, yeah, well, only when we're talking with British people.
Yeah,
I still have
right,
people
too.
that look at me with annoyance when I suggest they wear comfortable shoes. No friggin' flip-flops. And keep their seatbelt fastened, even if loosely. Yes, dress to egress. Very good point, Liz. That should be a show title. Oh, wait. It was. Yeah. And he said, I'm beginning to believe that the only reputable source for aviation news is the APG. Yep.
What?
Oh, yeah. That's the 50%. Well, yeah, 50%
Right,
is
better
about
than
as
some.
good as we can guarantee you on this show. Yeah. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not just aviation. I've worked in a few different careers over the years,
Mhm.
and you start to think,
everywhere.
okay, if they're this wrong about something in law enforcement,
Yep.
what else are they wrong about? And then you realize it's just everything.
Pretty much everything.
All of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So with the 50% guarantee, we are way ahead.
I know. Cutting edge. Yep. Skepticism is a valuable attribute for sure. Thank you, Liz. All right. Let's. So, Sam, thanks for sending that in and expressing your concerns. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it's just all downhill from here. John Luke sent this via our Facebook page. He says, as there have been a lot of chat about tail strikes recently and the Icelandic freighter, I took this photo today at the Bristol Aviation Museum. It shows a set of wheels on the tail of Concorde. That would be a good pub quiz question. How many wheels does Concorde have?
Should we suggest that to that British podcast that talks about airplanes? Because don't they do quizzes for prizes?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good question. I don't know how. I honestly, because I don't see all the other landing gear things on that Concorde. How many do?
The answer is 42.
Well, yeah, the meaning of life, right? The answer is 42.
Life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah, and
is that a double tail
wheels on a
wheel?
Concorde?
Sorry, are there two
looks like
little
a double,
wheels
yeah.
on that? Yeah,
it does look like it.
That's what it appears.
That's two. Yeah. They've got two conventional bogies, I think. So there's 8 main wheels, 2 nose wheels, and 2 tail wheels. That's what's 40?
Let me get the calculator out. Wow. Oh, what about Neil says? What about trim wheels? Now, come on. I'm talking about rubber wheels that meet the ground. I think.
Oh, and lighting rheostat wheels.
Oh well. Oh, we could go on and on and on, couldn't we? Let's don't. All right, let's continue with this from Peter Kent. Flying High is the title of his feedback. Hi, team. Spotted this on Instagram, man. Far out. Okay, because he gives us a link to an article on Instagram. A crew on British Airways flight from London to Los Angeles received what looked like a sweet thank you gift from a passenger. A bag of gummy bears. Aw. Only problem? They weren't regular gummies. While riding the hotel shuttle after landing, a few crew members split the candy and quickly started feeling totally out of control, man. Turns out that the bag contained 300 milligrams of THC. 3 crew members reportedly consumed most of it, so about an average of 100 milligrams each. Panicked as symptoms escalated and were taken to the hospital. Thankfully, they didn't eat them on the flight. Replacement crew operated the return leg, and the affected employees have since recovered. They're not facing discipline since it was an honest mistake, but the airline is reportedly trying to track down the passenger who handed over the edibles. A few big takeaways, it says. 300 milligrams of THC is no joke. That is an enormous amount. Traveling internationally with cannabis is risky business. And if you're gifted mystery gummies, maybe read the label first. Sounds like something out of a comedy movie, but it could have been much worse. At least the high drama happened on the shuttle and not at 35,000 feet. What would you do if a passenger handed you gummy bears mid-shift? He asks us. I'd say, how much THC is in it? No, I wouldn't ask that. I don't know.
I mean, 300 is only about 10 times the normal amount for a 200-pound person for a high dose.
Only 10 times?
10 times the high dose. So,
yikes!
Fine.
That could have killed them, right?
No, you can't overdose on THC.
Oh, you can't? Okay. Well, I don't have any experience with it like you have.
I've been told.
Oh, you've been told. Okay, gotcha. Wink. All right, let's continue. Of course, we were just joking around. He doesn't know.
Except for the I've been told part.
Vernon sent this in. Vernon Tryon from Fort Morgan, Colorado. What's doing 7 knots at 64,000 feet? So he says, first time I've seen this on Flight Radar 24. Interesting. And so we're taking a look at that right now.
It's a stupid balloon.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's we'll let Captain Nick explain exactly what Vernon was looking at on.
Well,
Flight Radar 24.
we covered this on a few shows ago, didn't we? With that bunch who hit an airliner with the package hanging on beneath their.
Was
the
Belarus
cigarette smugglers?
No, this was the bloke that actually has the company of high flying balloons with a.
Oh yeah.
With the package, and it hit the windshield of the 737. Remember, 36,000 feet.
Salt Lake City area.
So he's obviously taken the hint, and he's flying his balloons a little higher now, 64,000 feet.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. So we'll include this pic, this screenshot of Flight Radar 24 and the path of the 64,000 foot high balloon in the show notes. Thank you. Yeah, they must be. Yeah. All right.
Smuggling other things in Colorado.
Pardon me?
I said they're smuggling other things in Colorado.
Yeah, probably so.
I don't think I want to have a steak at Well Done. That's the place on this map you just...
I see that. I see that. It's very good. Well, we almost had a brush with that balloon there.
Oh, yeah, very
just
good.
to the east of Fort Morgan. Okay. Enough of that. Thank you, Vernon. Let's continue on this. Continue with this from Kevin Dryden in Vancouver Island, BC. Comox. Thank you. More than one OGG? Huh? That's the title of his feedback. I guess this is not the captain who ditched the Stratocruiser between Honolulu and San Francisco in 1956? Question mark.
I guess it's OG, not OGG. Or is it?
Yeah, Og. Captain Og, right. The plaintail of the ditching of the Stratocruiser in 1956 in the Pacific Ocean between Honolulu and San Francisco. Yeah. So the airport identifier for Maui is Oscar Golf Golf, or OGG, or OG, if you prefer. And so I guess the assumption was made that maybe that had something to do with that captain of the ditched Stratocruiser, but no, it's actually his name is Captain Hogg with an H, H-O-G-G, the one that the airport is named for in Maui, and he sent us a couple of snapshots of the display as why is Kahului Airport called OGG or OG. And I thought there was I must have looked it up on my own and I forgot to cut and paste and put it here in the feedback item. But it's a nice story about Captain Hogg and what he did and why they named the airport after him, because he did a lot of things to help out people and learning how to fly and other life skills.
It's a wonderful story that we're not going to tell you.
We're not going to tell you because I don't have it in front of me. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Sovereign of the Skies, APG 226 is the where you would find the plaintail of Captain Og and the ditching. The other captain, not the guy that they named the airport for. Also you can go to our website and click on the Plaintails tab, and you can actually subscribe to Plaintails and get it in its own separate feed, and you can do a search for Captain Og, or what was the name of the title again of the Plaintail, Liz? Sovereign of the Skies. So check it out. Thank you, Kevin, for keeping in touch with us and sending us interesting information, little tidbits like this. Appreciate that. Continuing on with this from Vim Sotarts. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly or not. The Belgian dude. Okay, he says, I don't know how this is possible. I would assume that a taxiway has different lighting than a runway. Okay, so he's talking about an incident that a pilot accidentally takes off on the wrong lane at...
Yeah, we did this in the news.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, good. So earlier today, earlier in the show, in the news segment, we talked about the airplane. In fact, it was our first news item, wasn't it? It was. So he sent a link to another article. I don't think it's the same article, but it's from the Brussels Times. BrusselsTimes.com article about this, and of course, Vim says, don't know how this is possible. I would assume that a taxiway has different lighting than a runway. Yes, it does. Unfamiliarity with the airport? I don't know. Distracted? Probably. I wonder if you have come across similar incidents. Yes, we were talking about the incident that occurred about just under a year ago in Orlando. A Southwest flight attempted takeoff on a taxiway, and that's not the first time, and sadly, it probably won't be the last. And he said the Brussels airport drama didn't end there, as they welcomed a diverted Jet 2 flight after an honest-to-God passenger brawl in midair. And then he gives us a link to a BBC.com article with actually a little clip of the video of this fracas or whatever you call that. What's the word? Fracas? I guess this is, and why I came up with that word, I have no idea. Doesn't really appear in my vocabulary normally. I guess this is just another reason not to engage in any binge drinking. Yeah, Captain Stefan, take note. Avoid cardiological issues and lower your propensity to start mid-air flights or just fights. Mid-air fights or just fights.
It's very hard to start a mid-air flight. I mean, because you.
That's not true. That's not true. That's how we broke the sound barrier.
Yeah, but if you do binge drinking, there's no talking you out of trying to start a mid-air flight. Anyway, that was from the Belgian dude, Wim Stoltarts. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I love the title. It said, taxiway, runway, same thing. Obviously.
Got a title for you, Nick. Troublesome taxiway tomfoolery.
Oh, very good. Very yes.
Good alliteration.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue this with from this piece of feedback from Texas Anlashock. The last test Dreamliner. Okay. Greetings, Captain Jeff and APG crew. Well, I saw something interesting cross my feed recently about Boeing retiring one of their test aircraft. As we all know, aircraft manufacturers use the first few planes off the line to perform a series of validation checks. When the testing program's complete, these planes are usually retired or delivered to customers to place into service. Except for that MD-95 that they did like a inverted almost crash maneuver. Remember that, the stall? And anyway, I think they probably took that thing out of service immediately. Anyway, in this case, Boeing kept one of their 787-8 test planes, Zulu Alpha or Z Alpha 004, originally destined for Northwest Airlines, but had their order canceled after the merger with Delta Airlines. Since then, it has performed a series of flights testing various improvements, usually software-based, but also testing new engine variations. Its biggest contribution was being that the plane tested their improvements after the battery fires that grounded the fleet. But alas, the time has come for a major check, and rather than go through with it, Boeing has decided to just put it out to pasture. Anyway, just thought I'd share this. Until next time, this is the Texas Anlashock signing off. And then he gives us a link to this. Oh, look at that. Are you sure that's not because of the battery fire?
That's just what I was going to say. That battery fire test didn't really go as planned then.
Oh, yeah, it could be the leak test. Yeah.
Or maybe they were just washing the engines. Not very effectively.
Could be. Yeah. Neil says they have the first 787 delivered to ANA at the Boneyard in Arizona, I think. Oh, cool.
We had a prototype A340 on our fleet, and it was interesting because there are all sorts of additional knobs and switches and things that have been put in there. They deactivated them, but never removed them. And
I wonder what this does.
My name isn't Gasher Tilton, the guy who ended up being intercepted by F-18s going into Canada because he played with a switch that they'd forgotten to deactivate, and it set the hijack code onto the transponder.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yikes. Oopsies. All right. Just one more. All right. We have some audio feedback. That's always an awesome thing. Oh, wait a minute. Let me reset this thing. I was listening to it, and now I got to reset it. Okay. So this is some audio feedback from Lindsay McNeil in Chicago. The title is APG Feedback 693. Waymos aren't all that bad. Hi, all. Attached is voice feedback from episode 693. You were all sounding like the old man yells at a cloud from The Simpsons about the Waymos. I actually don't think that they're that bad. I don't know. I didn't think that we really were that. And really, all the negative comments that I mentioned about the Waymos in San Francisco were from the Uber drivers, not me. I was just noting that there were a bunch of them everywhere, but I didn't really think that that was a bad thing.
And all the news stories about them flying past school buses and stopping in the middle of intersections.
Or when the servers
They
go
can
down,
fly?
they'll stop.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the hills in San Francisco?
Yes.
Anyway, and then she says also a link to the article that she mentions in her audio. Okay, so you know what I should probably do? I should probably play the audio and listen to her voice instead of having to listen to mine. Her voice is much nicer.
Hi, APG crew. This is Lindsay McNeil from Chicago. I have some feedback from episode 693, specifically the discussion around Jeff's trip to San Francisco and seeing the Waymos. I think Jeff was pretty harsh on the Waymos. I've had a slightly different perspective based on my own experience riding a few of them over the holidays. My husband and I flew out to LA for the Rose Bowl. He's a Hoosier, so this was a very big deal for him. And while we were there, we made a point to try the Waymo experience. So first, all of the cars were consistently very clean, very well maintained, up to date. They smelled good. And I've been in a lot of really stinky taxis. Secondly, they do strictly follow the posted speed limits and traffic laws. I think somebody mentioned that was a drawback, but I think that's a pretty big positive. The car doesn't get impatient with you. It doesn't get aggressive. It's not distracted. There's no way that the Waymo is going to be impaired. And I've definitely had a few Uber and taxi rides over the years where that wasn't the case. And maybe most importantly, as a female passenger, the Waymo can't flirt with me. It can't follow me home. It's not going to talk to me about what's going on in its life. And for me, sometimes that's a meaningful difference between an autonomous vehicle and, perhaps a taxi driver. So they're certainly not perfect, but I do think that there's some advantages to them. It also makes me think about AI and aviation, in particular those rare instances where a pilot has intentionally brought down an aircraft. And I think about the possibility of AI someday serving as another safeguard in some of those extreme situations where someone's going through some type of crisis. Ultimately not replacing the pilots, but preventing one person from having that total control if there is something clearly wrong with them. And to be clear, I don't work for Waymo. I don't think AI is really ready for any type of any aviation prime time. I was just reading about a recent case where an autonomous AI coding agent had some of its code rejected by a human, and then the AI coding agent went ahead and published a reputational hit piece, an attack against this human who had rejected their code without any human intervention. So clearly we're still in a needing of the guardrails type of phase with AI. But anyway, I really appreciate the thoughtful discussion, and I think it's worth it to give the Waymos a try. Thanks.
Well, those poor Waymos. Thank you very much, Lindsay, for taking the time to send in the audio, and you have a wonderful voice. I love listening to it. And some of the points that you made about, well, first of all, as I said before, we play the audio, is that I was just kind of reflecting what the Uber drivers, which obviously probably have a reason to gripe about the Waymos because basically they're putting them out of work. But they're the ones that said that the thing that's frustrating about them is that they follow all the rules, and it's like nobody, like no human driver actually follows all the rules like the Waymos do. So that was their frustration. But I was just kind of relaying their thoughts about the whole thing, and my observation that looked like everywhere I looked, there were like 2 or 3 Waymos in downtown San Francisco. But yeah, you know what? Maybe next time I head out that way or visit a city where they have the Waymos operating, I'll give it a shot. But you make some really good points about them being impaired, or Uber slash Lyft drivers can be impaired. In fact, my daughter was taking a ride with one of those services back from the Atlanta airport back to her apartment in Buckhead, and she said, "Yeah, this guy doesn't seem like fully with it, and I can smell weed." And I was very concerned, and she was very concerned for her safety, and she did make it back safely, and she did report the driver, by the way. But so, and then the fact that being a female, I think sometimes we males don't always think about the fact that you're a single female in a taxi or a ride sharing service, and how you could be more vulnerable to things that we aren't. iHaul Boxes says, not being a female, I don't appreciate flirtatious taxi drivers either, to be honest. Oh, well. Wait, iHaul, send a picture of yourself to us so we can see what they're flirting with. Okay, Tim Van Ram says, Waymo cars, a pain in the rear as they flood the streets of San Francisco and add to traffic congestion. Okay, so here's Mark Tim Van Ram in the category or the column he no like. Peter Tarantelli says, don't be so sure about not following you home.
It's the other half of that feedback is about the
Yeah, I know.
AI
So that's
that
I
went rogue.
can't wait to talk about that. Neil says I've seen enough videos of them just pulling out into the traffic to not want to try them yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's they're still cutting their teeth with that technology, obviously. But the mention of the article in the second half of her audio feedback, I don't know. To me, it screams like, okay, it's just a matter of time. We're getting close to the end of civilization because the AI bots are starting to turn on their human overlords, right?
I would like to bring you back to a little thing called Skynet.
Skynet, yeah, I know that's scary, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll have that article in the show notes for you. And but it's
how
nice
do
to
we
hear.
know that the videos of the Waymos pulling out into traffic aren't made by AI to discredit the Waymos because they don't like them?
Could be. Or maybe the Uber Lyft drivers used AI to create the videos to
yeah, there you go.
To make them look bad. I don't know, but wow, we're talking about a whole new frontier that we're embarking upon.
Don't worry,
now.
Jeff. We're not going to be around long enough to worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, time to wrap this. I'm glitching.
Thought you were downloading new code.
I was like, see, we're all AI here. We're not real. Actually, if we weren't real, this would be so much better of a show. All right. Time to wrap this thing up. We're going to point you over to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where you'll find information about the crew and the community and the calendar and library. Yeah. Our librarian, Tiffany, added that book from the last show. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Let's see, merchandise, and I think we still have that on there. And more information about each of the plane tales, and just so much more. Check it out.
Does the calendar say 2026 now? Are you sure?
So.
Have you checked? Okay.
Yeah, it's a Google calendar. AI, come on.
Wouldn't trust Google.
Yeah.
Didn't we just talk about this?
I know. Like, maybe we should check. Somebody check it, staff. All right, and we are also on social media. Somebody do that for us, please.
Facebook.
One of you AI bots.
Facebook.com/airline pilot guy. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, at APG Crew. Instagram also at APG Crew minus the @ symbol. YouTube.com/airline pilot guy. Basically, look up APG or airline pilot guy, and you'll find us somewhere.
Or APG Crew. One of those three. Yeah. All right.
Any
very good.
mixture of
Thank
the
you.
above.
Yeah, and of course, as always, no matter where I am, if there's a bathroom with a shower in it, this guy is going to be in it. Can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
I know, you say it every time. It's almost as if it's like a recorded sound jingle thing. But it's not. He's real. He's not a bot. Oh, I could say so much, but I'm not going to. All right, come over here and tell us about Slack.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas. We suggest episode and Plain Tales topics. We plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Say hi to your wife for me. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, wow. Thank you, Hillel, for that. And we'd also like to, speaking of thank yous, thank our producer, the one and the only ever.
Well done, Liz. Thanks.
Liz
They
Piper.
broke the mold.
A busy day for you.
Yeah.
You have great coloring. I don't know what special lighting you're using, but it looks great. Look at
It
that.
couldn't just
Been
be
out in the
her
sun.
glowing. It's got to be special
Excuse me?
lights.
Thank you.
You said
Thank you.
It couldn't
AJ.
just be her glowing. It couldn't just be special lights.
Oh, just her inner glow
Yeah.
is coming to the surface.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
love
pregnant.
it.
And thank you to Martin. You know how they always say women that are pregnant are glowing. I just had to clear that up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
In case anyone was concerned.
Okay. Yeah. You never know. We're this crazy world we're living in. It's
2026.
Yes, it is.
And we'd also like to thank our live chat room, our live audience. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Always.
And with that, we're going to wish you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Just off now.
You're welcome.
See you next time. All righty then. Hey, Neil's got a good point here, Jeff.
There must
we
be a
need to
whole
start
line of Hillel-themed bathroom merch.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
Halal
anybody,
themed soap dish and halal
Bath
themed hand
mat.
towel.
anybody
bath mat,
artistically
slippers.
inclined is
Soap
more
on
than
a rope.
welcome to
Oh, golly,
engage.
yes. Need that.
Well, I think I asked Peter like 2 years ago if he wanted to have some involvement in our merchandise, and I never followed
You never
up
got
on that.
back
Sorry,
to him,
Peter.
right, Jeff?
I just like out of mind, out
Thanks,
of sight,
Peter,
out of mind.
but you know.
No, thanks, Peter. I'm sure you would have done a smash.
Do you want me to
up
remind
job
you about
with-
that, Jeff?
Yeah, please do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But honestly, I think that if somebody really wants to, I mean, like Peter, or even people out there with ideas. for
He's
new
bitter, Jeff. He's bitter.
Art concept. I had someone.
Yeah,
I don't have.
he's out. He's out.
Oh, well, sorry, Peter's not happy with me.
No.
Sorry, Peter. Well, I mean, Peter's so involved with some other aviation podcast.
If we were a bot, if we were bots, we would have followed up with you, Peter.
Yes, but we're not.
We're
We're
not.
humans. We can talk.
Anyway, Nick, I'm assuming you got some titles that you can work with there, correct?
I've got a couple. Yeah, I've got.
I don't have anything else. I wasn't writing down. I'm too busy.
V1, Winter Olympics. What a Feeling, Dancing on the Ceiling. 737 Hangar Dance. Troublesome Taxiway Tomfoolery.
Yes, that was a good one.
I'm quite sure I'm going to illustrate that, but it was a great title.
You can have them dancing in the hangar at the back while they're taking off on the taxiway.
How about those meddling taxiways? And you could.
That's
have
why
like a
they were
Scooby-Doo mystery
distracted.
machine
The dancing in the hangar
airplane.
was distracting them.
Well, I quite like the idea of a big hangar scene with a huge orchestra. And,
Yeah, I love it.
And all the dancers and their dancing on the airplane. So that would be good.
I like it. I think I can see it. All right, everybody. Thanks. Have a good weekend. It's almost the end of February. End of February next week.
30 days has September, April, June, and November.
Anybody else notice that February fit perfectly on the calendar?
Oh, does it?
February 1st was a Sunday. February 28th is a Saturday. It is exactly a block. It is just OCD.
Wow.
wonderful.
You know, there used to be only 10 months. Do you know why they changed it to 12 months?
The apostles or something?
No, the Romans desperately needed to get 2 new leaders of regions because they needed to fight battles, and they weren't allowed to do it till the first beginning of the year. That's when they made these big decisions, and that was the 1st of March. So they invented 2 new months of January and February and made the 1st of January the new year, so they could assemble and make these decisions then. So that's why there are 12 months.
That's good trivia there, Nick.
There you go.
Now, iHole Boxes has a question here, and before I put it up, iHole, just think of what Jeff can't do these days with focus. So just think about that.
You mean focus?
We're nowhere near
We need new
700. What are you
glasses.
talking about?
Yeah, we've got ages to go.
I think there was
I
some...
don't think 700 is auspicious, is it?
But
It's
but
not
there
like-
was some talk, perhaps, of Captain Nick doing a special plane tale themed around
Really?
700s and Boeings.
Well,
and
someone
stuff.
suggested I did heaps of work.
Well, yes, that was Sam Bolog.
Yeah,
he
all
had
about
an
all
idea
the
of it.
He wanted
700 series bloody Boeings. And I'm going, if I had
Your
this,
favorite subject.
But you might do one. But you might do one.
Well, if Boeing had made a 700, the Boeing 700, I might think about it, but they didn't, did they?
No, but
No,
anyway.
they didn't.
But think about how much fun we're going to have with your beginning of the show little snippets as soon as we get into the 700s.
I know.
And I'm sure it's all going to be positive things.
All positive.
God, yeah, I'm thinking of all the crashes I can dig out. Yes.
And all the gear collapses.
Oh, yeah. Golly, I'll be spoiled for choice.
So no, the answer is nothing special for 700.
I might
gonna
do a
have to
plane tail. How's that? A 700 plane tail.
We may have to just skip episode 737.
Oh, we can be like the Chinese, and they inauspicious numbers. You go to a hotel, those rooms don't exist.
Right.
We just
Fours-
don't have
fours are
a show
big. We're gonna-
700.
We're going to have to skip every 10th number.
Yeah, pretty much.
699 to 701.
We won't have a 730. We won't have a 737 show because we'll all have collapsed. Anyway, I know you're all wanting to know. Canada did win their curling game, and they're in the gold medal round now.
I knew it.
But,
I knew they were going to do it.
Who are they
But-
playing?
I don't know yet. But we did lose to the U.S. in women's hockey. It went into overtime, but
That's got to be like an emotional blow for Canada.
It's
Did
sad.
your curlers get caught cheating again?
not again. But
Oh, okay.
they've figured out how to not get caught.
Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah.
We're kind of smart.
How did the Swiss against the Brits do?
I don't know. Just a minute here.
Because the Swiss, I thought, were favourites to win the gold.
Yeah, they have been at the best
Mind you,
record.
the wheels could have fallen off. You never know. No.
I don't know. Anyway,
Don't know.
I don't know who they're playing yet. I think it might be the U.S. actually. Which we better win that one. That's all I can say. Anyway, thanks everybody. Have a good
Hey,
weekend.
good to see you all. Yeah.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.